Oh yeah, the gals from The View. They had JD Vance on, and JD Vance is a great speaker. And I know a lot of people, Groypers can't stand him because he's got a Indian wife and he's a Republican. That's, they hate that he's tied to Israel and this and that. Oh, a lot of stuff. But JD is a great speaker. He can defend himself very well. He does great in debates. And when he sits down with a hostile news program or a bunch of vapid like this, he can handle himself. He's not like trying to make excuses or he gets tongue-tied. He don't care. He'll go on any of these shows because he knows they're stupid and he's not. So it works out pretty well. But Whoopi asked J.D. Vance why the Trump administration is stigmatizing black people. And they go on. It gets passed around to some of the other gals of The View. And it's all such nonsense. Check it out.
What did black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just, I know Emmett Till was the kid.
Yeah.
No, I want to know
what
she's respond to your actual point.
So
he goes, what exactly are you talking about? And the audience goes, oh, what? What is she talking about? You can't just make some kind of a blanket statement that the Trump administration, in which he's the vice president of, is somehow fucking black people over. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining. And then he asks, well, what are you talking about? Give me an example. And there's the audience. Oh, how dare he ask for some clarification of the bullshit that Whoopi is spewing at this table of twats. Oh, please. The audience is more despicable than the people at the table, and that's hard to pull off. So now Whoopi being asked, give me an example, is all hamina. She don't know what the fuck to say. She don't have examples because there aren't examples. Continue.
In a lot of the museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened. All kinds of stuff happened. And it seems that
because this is unbelievably retarded, even for Whoopi Goldberg. Even for Whoopi, this is a level of a retardation that nobody should have and then be on television trying to tell people what's going on and give their opinions on things. She's way too mentally retarded. Museums? Things are being taken down in museums. And what's being taken down? I know there was one art exhibit of African American artwork on a wall outside, and they were trying to refurbish the area, so they took that down. They're bitching about this Chappie pilot named Chappie that was in the Vietnam War, I think, and he was a very good pilot. He shot down a lot of bad guys. and his picture was hanging, his portrait, a painting, was hanging at the Pentagon. Well, they decided that they were going to move the painting from where it was in the Pentagon to the Air and Space Museum in this guy's hometown, where people could look at it there in the context of who he is. How many people go into the fucking Pentagon? You don't go there to look at artwork and pictures. So put it in a museum of aviation. This guy was a great pilot. But all they're saying is they removed his picture from the Pentagon because they're racist. No, add in the other part where you see exactly why they would do something like this. Now, if you want to talk about getting rid of history and taking away works of art, especially statues, how about we look a few years ago at what was going on in this country, the removal of statues, and not just Civil War heroes, I will call them heroes, that were all over this country, who I think should be left up. Those statues should absolutely be left up. If you have a problem with the Confederacy and it's racist, it's this, it's that, then make sure that those statues can be used to give your side of the story. Instead of just getting rid of it, you might want to say, hey, there's a statue of this guy. Here's what he did. Here's what he stood for. Here's whatever. But getting rid of it is trying to get rid of history. You don't want people to read about what this guy did and then say, he wasn't a racist. It wasn't about slavery. He wanted to fight against Northern aggression. He wanted a country of like-minded states that weren't the same mindset as the North. Nothing to do with slavery. And but they had to make it about slavery. It was anti-white. And then try to rationalize why they took the statue of Teddy Roosevelt right off the main entrance stairs to the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. I mean, this guy, Teddy Roosevelt, was synonymous with something like the American Museum of Natural History. His work in preserving national parks and the history of the United States and natural history are amazing national parks that have they're like museums in and of themselves. And then he brought so much of the knowledge that he acquired to these museums. And there's a big fuck crane just pulling his statue up of him on horseback because behind him on foot was a black guy and an American Indian who were scouts and helped and joined Teddy Roosevelt on these excursions into the wilderness. And he treated them with respect and recognized them for their skills and talents when they were out there in the wilderness. And just because they were there, the liberals and douchebags determined that they were being subservient to Teddy Roosevelt. So that statue had to go. And then this fucking is getting in J.D. Vance's face about eliminating black history. Show me where. Show me how, where, when. It doesn't happen. Continue.
It's been very easy for this administration to remove that and also to denigrate black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you, I mean, you know better.
So, Sonny, that was actually a very helpful intervention, because I think the story you're talking about is where, allegedly the administration is holding back the appointments of people based on skin color. I've seen this story.
I'm talking about a host of things. I'm talking about Black history getting erased from public spaces. Black voter districts are being dismantled. Black leaders are being sidelined from...
Black voter districts are being dismantled. This is one of the biggest fuck lies going on right now, because that ain't happening. There was a decision that the Supreme Court made that said that redistricting, gerrymandering as they call it, could not be, you can't change district lines, voting district lines based on race. You can't look at a state and a county and go, we're going to divide it up in a way where blacks are here and white people are here so that the black voters get, you're not allowed. It's quite literally unconstitutional. And when the Democrats tried to do this, I believe it was in Arkansas recently, the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do it. You cannot do it that way. It's unconstitutional. And believe me, Democrats and Republicans both have been gerrymandering states. They redraw district lines so they can get more voting power in local elections. It's happened both sides. But to try to turn a Supreme Court decision that just reiterated, they didn't put some new shit out there. They just reiterated, you cannot do this. It is unconstitutional to divvy up districts based on race. And the way these dumb fuck lying liberals interpret that to feed it to their idiotic base is that they're dismantling the black voting districts. No, they didn't even take anything apart. They didn't even take a district that was black and say you can't do that. They just weren't allowing them to redistrict based on race. And now that is dismantling the black voter base? What? You're a lying fuck. They all are. It's insane. Continue.
Our ranks. Where do Americans of color fit in this vision? Because it doesn't seem like we
Jail?
fit.
I think, Sonny, my view.
And if I may, since October of last year, there's been something like 6,668 refugees allowed into the country. All but 3 were white South Africans.
So, first of all,
Pause.
I'm very.
Pause again. And so there have been X amount of immigrants let into this country. By the way, it was under the amnesty rules and policies that we have in this country. There are white South Africans being murdered by black South Africans who want their money, their land, they want to their family members. There is, if you research this, you will be disgusted at the number of white South Africans that are murdered by black people in South Africa. And it is a situation where they need amnesty. They need to be allowed to go to a safe place on this earth to get away immediately in imminent danger. And Donald Trump and the Trump administration and immigration has said, yes, these people are deserving of some type of sanctuary. Not amnesty, really. It's sanctuary. And that's why. Why should we go out of our way to look for people of color that we need to bring here when there are people banging at the door that are in genuine danger of being murdered